Hi, I'm John from Strings by Mail. I'm here to talk to you about core activation as a foundation for good technique and expression. And I'm not reaching back to my experience at Strings by Mail for this. I'm reaching back to my decades as a concert artist and a teacher. If we were singers, we'd already know all about core activation. If we were dancers, we'd have a full grip on core activation. But as guitarists, I don't think we talk about it enough. A singer without core activation can't hit those high notes with full sound and make that hall reverberate. A dancer without core activation, they can't make those fabulous lifts, those amazing jumps. They won't be able to have the loose, expressive hands and arms while making those difficult moves. So, if we have it, we'll be able to do more than we can without it. Some people naturally have this, but most people don't. So if we're going to tackle the question of core activation, we need to know what it is and know why we need it, and then we need to figure out how to get it. It is support of the body by muscle groups from the knees up to the rib cage that allows the upper body to settle into that core and relax in a way that the shoulders are loose, the breathing is open and full, and most importantly, the signals coming from the brain into the spinal cord, through the vertebrae, exiting the framus and going down to drive our hands completely unimpinged and give a maximum signal. So, how do we get it? How do we learn about it? For me, coming from the early 60s as a player, it was a long route. I studied Pilates, I studied yoga, I learned from physical therapists to understand how and why the core can and should be activated. But when I was teaching, I was able to simplify it to 3 simple exercises. And that's what I'm presenting here today. So the first of these exercises requires that you have the chair you're going to sit in as a player. And you start to sit down, but you get about here and you stop and hold it. And you'll feel muscles in the abdomen contract, in the legs flex up, and if you rock a little bit, you'll feel some of the muscles of the buttock and up under the beginning of the rib cage flex more. So you get a sense of where those muscles are. But you don't really have a sense of exactly how they flex for a guitarist. If you sit down and begin to stand up, first thing that happens is there's a little pressure into the feet, the shoulders lift a little bit, and we start to lean forward, and as soon as the weight comes off the chair, you'll notice a pulling of all the muscles under the thighs, across the buttock, up into the body, pushing the body up. Lifting from the core. Those are the muscles we need. But how to use them as a guitarist, because those examples give overflexation, more than you need. The amount you need is only the amount as if you kind of think and start to make the motion before you get up. And what happens then is the flexation happens in the legs, a little pressure down into the feet, a little bit of flexing of the bottom, and the shoulders lift back a little bit. And now you have just enough flexation, the upper core can relax down in. And when that happens, when your energy drops down through your spine, you'll feel the core naturally, with no effort, activate a little more. Integrating this into our playing, if we're not one of those people who is just gifted with a natural sense of it, takes a little time and should be started with the simplest of motions. Once you have a sense of it, pick up your guitar and maybe just pluck one string or just slide the hand a few positions. Something very simple, still maintaining the sense of the core being slightly activated. Then you can move on to perhaps the simplest exercise, a short little scale, and eventually pick a piece that's so easy for you that there's no question you'll be able to accomplish it with little effort, and integrate this into that. Over time, it will become a more natural part of your playing, and as you're in the middle of your practice, things maybe are going well, you feel a little tension, it's a great time to stop, take a breath, relax, and let go of everything. Then reset that core slightly, make a few simple moves, and go back into it. I encourage you to try this. And if we at Strings on Mail can be of any help along the way, provide some of the things that help you in your efforts to become a better musician, please let us know. Strings by Mail is not just a place, it's an idea. And the idea is that we can help you become the best musician you can. We can help you and your instrument both reach your maximum potential. It's a pleasure to be a part of it. Thank you for listening.